As a Southern Californian, it is my moral obligation to go to the beach a lot. And as someone who goes to the beach a lot can tell you, it's that the ocean can get pretty moody sometimes. I mean, there are some days where the water is so clear you can see your cold, shriveled toes beneath the surface. And other days, well, let's just say you're lucky if you get one mouthful of salt water instead of five. On those days, I always end up sitting burrito style on the rocks, wondering why I put myself through such a living hell. But then the wind picks up, the salty, sweet air enters my lungs, and I remember. Oh, yeah, that's why. I have the same love hate relationship with my phone. Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, TikTok, nearly 39% of teenagers report being obsessed with social media. And while I could go on for hours about the numerous positives and negatives of social media, I want to focus specifically today on its impact on young girls and young women. Because I know I'm not the only one who feels constantly drowned by this influx of body toxicity and negativity, nor am I the only one who thrives on its women empowerment. So today, I ask you to join me on a journey out to sea. As we first get caught up in the negativity that social media stirred into our society, before we then begin to swim out past the break into some of the benefits. So first, let's discuss some of the harms that social media has on our society. We've all heard the story of women struggling with lower self-esteem and poor body image, but very rarely do we realize exactly to what extent. The Park Nicolette Melrose Center states that nearly 80% of all teenage girls and young women suffer with negative thoughts about their bodies on an everyday basis. 80% of women. Social media has exacerbated this issue. We know this in part due to the social comparison theory, a psychological theory that states that people gain their sense of self-worth on the people around them. And now with this demographic spending an astonishing 9 hours a day on digital technology, this constant bombardment of the most ideal version of the human body has led them to constantly compare themselves to these unrealistic beauty standards. And especially for teenage girls who are on a quest to discover their identities and sense of self-belonging, this can have massive repercussions on both physical and mental health. The National Institute of Medicine states that low self-esteem and poor body image are leading factors for the development of risky weight loss strategies and eating disorders. Most recently, there has been this emergence of orthorexia, a social media stirred diet culture that's obsessed with eating clean, leading to the avoidances of bad food. While this might just seem like another diet on the outside, it actually leads to the same health implications of other more well-known eating disorders, such as muddled cognition, a lowered immune system, and in some cases, death. Now, at this point, you're probably sitting there thinking to yourself, wow, that all sounds pretty bad. Why would anyone think otherwise? To which I would say, yeah, you're right. We have not only seen the highest amount of recorded eating disorders in the past decade, but also the most mental illness, isolation, and media addiction. So why do I believe that social media is beneficial to any of us? Because I know that even after being drowned by the ocean so many times, I still come back. And while social media is filled with Photoshop and comparison and Kim Kardashian's buttocks, it has also become the catalyst to many women's empowerment. We see this especially with the body positivity movement. Medium suggests that this promotion of body positivity online is so crucial because, especially for women, highlighting the vast shapes and sizes that bodies can come in is the first steps towards their own body acceptance. From Serena Williams to Demi Lovato to Lizzo to Jonathan Van Ness to all the other influencers who have shown the world the beautiful complexities of the human body, they have empowered many of their followers, regardless of their body types, to thrive. And now more than ever, we see many women using social media as their form of self-expression. Edward Orchard from the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin found that self-expression values are at an all-time high, and women are increasingly using social media to express themselves positively and accurately. As a result, many women report feeling more comfortable and interconnected with their peers, as they have this outlet online to express themselves on a platform literally built for that purpose. And while some may feel the need to look and act a certain way on these sites, we find just as many, if not more, women and girls using it to express their true and authentic selves. So, after outlining the harms and benefits that social media has on women, one question remains. Does the good outweigh the bad? To be honest with you, I have no answer. But there's one thing that I know for certain. Social media isn't going away anytime soon. So rather than going back and forth on this debate, I want to turn your attention instead towards my experience with the ocean. Because while we cannot wholly reform the negativity and toxicity festering on these sites, I personally have made a personal choice to focus solely on the good. Because ultimately, we choose what we expose ourselves to. So we might as well learn to brace ourselves against the waves and savor the scent of the salty, sweet air.